Now we're going to look at if x, the coefficient of x, is not an integer. So if it's not an integer, then that means that it's a fraction. So if it's not an integer, it means it's a fraction. And we're going to look at this fraction. So we have 3 halves. If I put in, and don't write this down, so if I substitute x is -1, I would get 3 halves times -1 plus 1. That's going to give me -3 halves plus 1, which is -1/2 I can do. But I'm going to get a fraction. I don't want to graph that. So if we chose -1, we would get a fraction. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to erase all that. So what I'm going to do is choose I look at the denominator. Whatever's in the denominator, I choose a negative denominator. Always 0 because it's easy to work with, and then a positive denominator. And I'll abbreviate that, not that that's an official abbreviation. So if there's a fraction for the coefficient of x, I look at the denominator and I choose negative denominator, 0, and a positive denominator. So this denominator is a 2, and I'll set up the bigger t-chart. You can do either one. So I'm going to choose a negative denominator, 0, and a positive denominator. Same thing for the next one. I look at the denominator, it's 3. I choose a negative denominator, 0, and a positive denominator. The next one, I choose the negative denominator, 0, and a positive denominator. And then we'll come back to the next ones. So when I substitute it in, I get 3 halves times -2 plus 1, 3 halves times 0 plus 1, and 3 halves times 2 plus 1. When we do that, the 2's cancel here, and you're left with the negative and 3. So -3 plus 1 is -2. For here, that goes away, and you're get 1. The 2's cancel, 3 plus 1 is 4. So we have 3 ordered pairs, -2 and -2, 0 and 1, and 2 and 4. And I can plot that. Again, if you wanted to make your t-chart, and I will on the homework, like this, that's totally fine too. However you want to make your t-chart. The next one, again, we substitute -3, 0, and 3, because there's the denominator. And I get -1/3 times -3 plus 3, -1/3 times 0 plus 3, and -1/3 times 3 plus 3. These two, the 3's cancel and the negatives cancel. 1 plus 3 is 4. 0 cancels, I get 3. 3's cancel, -1 plus 3 is 2. So I plot all the points, connect them with a straight line, and you can see that that does make a line. And the last fraction one, we choose a negative denominator, 0, and a positive denominator. Why isn't that working? I'll just write over it. So for this one, the 5's cancel, the negatives cancel. 2 minus 1 is 1. 0 times anything is 0, and I get a -1. 5's cancel. You still have a -2 minus 1, which is -3. So I get those 3 points. and just again make sure that it makes a line.